All right, y'all. Welcome back to another fine episode of Movie Time with King. And yeah, today we have a very dope review that we have to get out. So I was blessed. What was this? A couple days ago to receive access to early screener for a new movie actually premiering the 14th, which I believe is today. So I think it hits theaters today. No, tomorrow. It hits theaters today. You probably will be able to get it in some theaters early today. But yeah, so at this point, yes, the movie comes out tomorrow. Sorry about that. I got interrupted with a text message. But yeah, King Ivory, wonderful movie, action packed thriller, very gritty, very different. Something that we haven't been getting in the last, few years. Whether it's been something, whether if it is gritty, it's been kind of futuristic. But this is bringing it back. This is taking it back to the day where I remember, how the, kind of street movies were. So my take on it is kind of skewed because I grew up with these movies, but at the same time, I think it's something that we need in the industry. Like we definitely need more of these realistic movies that are actually touching on real life scenarios. When it comes to crime and dealing with drugs and trafficking and human trafficking and all of that. So back to my review. Sorry, I got caught up there for a second. But anywho, King Ivory. This movie, like I said, touches from the civilian world to law enforcement world, what it is to probably be, one of the human traffickers. Like all of these different aspects are displayed in this movie, and it really starts off with in the Tulsa, Oklahoma landscape. The main character, who is a cop, Lane West, played by James Dale, he's battling local, uh, pretty much like local crime mobs, and it really consists of the Indian Brotherhood, who is the main, um, like kind of group over this area, whether it's on reservation land or in the prison or in the streets. Like they have connections, they run everything. The Irish mob, who is well Irish mob family, who is led by George Smiley Green, who is played by Ben Foster. He does an amazing role. They are essentially hitmen or hit family in this local town, and the work that they put in and the angle that they play and all of it is masterful. Also, you have the cartel, Mexican cartel, who is trafficking um, people in and out. And then the main guy there is Ramon, who's played by Michael Mando. He is essentially the main guy in all of this. So like his uh his involvement is crucial, but it's also taxing, very taxing on himself. So his character and his development through the movie was amazing to see, but it's something I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm definitely going to try not to give any spoilers with this movie, but it was something to see. So yeah, we had that was the Indian Brotherhood, the Irish mob, yeah, the Mexican cartel. Oh yeah, and then the feds. So then yeah, you have the feds intertwined with all of this, and it is literally it breaks it down to so many, like I said, angles of the involvement, and whether it's the community, the law enforcement, the government, like everything is displayed. So one of the storylines that I really enjoyed was, so the main cop, he was, investigating. Inserted into a task force. Like the local police force are really trying, and Yep. So he's involved in a task force, which they're trying to really get in. You know, they're trying to stop the fentanyl, and the code name for the fentanyl is King Ivory. So that's where this name comes from. Which, when I did the trailer review, I wasn't really certain how that was going to play into it all, like what was going to be the factor in the naming. But once I got a chance to really watch this movie, it made perfect sense. And that was the thing; it was two different types of fentanyl that they were selling. You know what I'm saying? They had the white and they had the clear or whatever. And I'm assuming it was potency. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a little bit of a money difference with both bags, but at the same time, they were moving them. And on the scale in which they were moving, it was like crazy. So that was one aspect that really opened my eyes to the drug trade along with the human traffic trade because they kind of went hand in hand. So like people who were being brought here, they were essentially recruited into the system of the drug trade because they got here and they didn't have a job or they wouldn't be able to afford the full payment that it would cost to get to America. So what they would do is they would recruit these people to be drug dealers, and now you're just here doing what they need you to do until they no longer need you. And that was shocking to see, but it was also realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's something like I said, in this day and age when we make the movies, we really don't go realistic. They really try to go more futuristic, and kind of just I think they don't want to desensitize people to that, but I think it is also important to be displayed. So here, let's take a look. Matter of fact, I got it queued up because I feel like that's the thing. The trailer just didn't do it justice. Um, and honestly, when I first saw the trailer, like I said, I really misjudged it. I gave it um, kind of an unfair. Oh wait, my video isn't playing. Let me make sure I redo my video here. There we go. So let's start this trailer over. Because like I said, the trailer really didn't do it justice. The trailer put me in a mindset that it was gonna be a decent movie, but it was really good. Shot really well. The cast was amazing. They there it was very professionally done. The storyline was clear and it captured me. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Like it was a point where I was trying to watch the movie and do other things and I couldn't. I had to stay in it. Like I had to really be in the know of what was going on, because it was so much action and so much turns that it was like I wasn't prepared for. But great movie. In like I said, it's in theaters tomorrow. Um, King Ivory is amazing. Like I said, a gritty thriller where it really depicts life. You know what life can be like, how twists and turns can happen, and things can go from honky dory and everything okay to really bad really quickly. And it's relative to everyone, and I think that was another aspect of the movie that was displayed. Like it doesn't matter who you are, drugs, all of the crime, it can reach out and touch you, because it was happening right under people's noses who were in the midst of trying to stop it. So that was like a thing that I felt like the director did a good job. He definitely did a good job. Matter of fact, let me show some love to that. Yeah, this is directed by John Schwab, produced by Jeremy Rosen, cast of others, also written by John Schwab. So that's good. I think that is good. Like he probably had a lot of hands on in how he wanted to depict this movie and how it was set to go. So I commend him. Kudos. You did an amazing job. Definitely on my list to go see. If I had to rank this movie, I probably rank this movie a solid 4.5 out of 5. Just because of the action, just because of the dialogue, everything about it was entertaining. From beginning to the end was very entertaining. very action packed. Which again, when we get into drug movies, I also feel like a lot of times it's a lot of dialogue, a lot of back and forth, and there's not really a lot of action. There's not really, the setup for it. Where this movie definitely gave you the setup. Um, they made you feel for the characters. They made you want to know what was going to happen throughout the whole movie. So I really enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed that. And I think that it's a must see. So that is my review for this great movie that is, like I said, in theaters tomorrow. King Ivory, go check it out. One of my recommendations. It'll be definitely one of my recommendations on the podcast this week. And if you don't know, check out the Geek Set podcast. We're over on the Geek Set podcast channel every Sunday. Just go like us on Instagram, Facebook to keep you abreast of all the things that we have going on. But yeah, I'll do more of my movie information and news also there, and I'll give probably a little further in depth opinion on the movie. So yeah, like I said, it was good. I enjoyed it. But anywho, that is my take for today. Like I always tell y'all when it comes to my movie times with King, hey man, y'all stay good, man. Stay out these streets and stay in these movies. All right.